You're listening to hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh all week long. Those balls have gotten you into trouble, though.
Yeah. They picked us because we're horny.
Yeah,
right.
And that's your chronic state.
24/7.
My life has changed so much that it's almost like a completely different life.
From the latest news on the Real Housewives,
I'm so happy to be here and engage with you.
deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered convos with your favorite stars, I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. All right, guys, so today's guests are two fellow tea-spilling professionals. They've got the ultimate access to all things Hollywood. Please welcome the hosts of Housewives Nightcap, Lauren Herbert and Emily Orozco. Hi, guys.
Hi, Zach.
What an intro. I mean, hello, do we feel fancy or what?
I mean, you are fancy. You're coming straight from Access Hollywood.
You know, we are, but we're fancy, but we're also wildly scrappy. So it's like a little bit of scrappy. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's the way I feel like you build a career.
It is. You have to be scrappy. You have to get a little scrappy to get to the top. And that's where you're headed.
Exactly. So that's definitely the best way to describe us.
Yes. Well, I love it. I love listening to your interviews. You always get the tea out of the housewives. You're always getting the scoop. We have lots of scoop to discuss today.
Scoop.
You are always getting the scoop. You know, we work for NBC. We are in the family. We like to have a lot of synergy.
Yeah, they give us things. You just get it. You go out there and get them yourselves.
I'm on the ground.
You're on the ground. You're doing the Lord's work, you know?
No, I was literally DMing with some of the housewives that were in Morocco, and I'm like, I need more scoop from you. And some of them are like, I can't talk. And I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be on the record.
Yeah.
Here's some no filter ones. Yeah, we love a good source.
You know everything. So you really know what's going down.
So should we talk about this madness in Morocco that's like breaking news everywhere? Okay, so Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 4 just wrapped filming, and Brandi Glanville is currently under investigation for some unwanted kisses. So I broke the story on Sunday, came out in People this morning, and it's like spreading like an STD on a college campus right now. So the version that was reported in People, I thought was a little convenient. It seemed to lean towards one housewife, more favorable towards one housewife. But I do think some of the sources that I had are some of the same sources in People. But basically, there was an incident that involved Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo while filming Real Housewives Girls Trip Season 4 in Morocco. There was some unwanted contact from Brandi towards Caroline. Caroline became very upset. She flipped out. It became a major incident while filming. Therefore, production had to then launch an internal investigation. Brandi had to be removed. She was placed in a separate hotel. Apparently, majority of the women, from what I've heard, seem to have been siding with Brandi based off of what they witnessed that night. Caroline ended up leaving early on her own accord. I speculated that this was likely due to the fact that some of the other women weren't taking her side initially. I do believe that the incident happened on camera, so I would assume the internal investigation now would likely be like some sort of third party taking everyone's statements and kind of just reviewing the footage. But Brandi and Caroline were noticeably absent at the finale, which taped on Saturday night. All the women are back now, except for maybe like Alex, who's been, every time I see her, she's been on a plane for like 5 days now. I'm like, where is Alex heading home to? Like, where is home at this point? But what are your initial reactions to kind of just this news coming out being, that there was some sort of incident between Brandi and Caroline and they had to cut the trip short?
Okay, not shocked. My gut reaction, I'm from Jersey. Okay, let me tell you something about Jersey.
Don't you talk about my family.
Let me tell you something about Jersey girls. We don't like when people talk about our families, but in addition, we don't like to be touched. Do not touch a Jersey girl without her without letting her know, like, we don't want to be touched. Yeah. So it does not shock me by a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Without, being welcome.
Personal space.
personal space. And I know this might be something that like most people feel, but it's a particular to Jersey. And you can check me because on the show you could tell Jersey girls don't want to be touched. Caroline was pissed. And we all know Brandi. Yeah. Like Lauren, we'd interviewed Brandi.
And she is wild. That's why I'm not shocked that it was involved. Brandi was involved. But I will say for them to have an internal investigation, that's serious. How many times has NBC Bravo done that? There's only a handful of times that they've actually done an investigation like that. So I feel like it has to be super serious. I also heard somewhere that Dina's name was involved somehow.
Yeah, so I can confirm that there was no Dina involved. And then Vicky even came out and was commenting saying that that's not true. I think that what happens, and this, I don't know if you guys get frustrated with this, but what happens sometimes is there are these low budget Twitter accounts that want to just like tweet things to like be funny or be interesting. And then it picks up steam and then it becomes a whole thing. So as far as I'm pretty sure at some point on the trip, Dina's name comes up and there's a discussion about Dina. But as far as I'm aware, it was not related to the incident with Brandi.
Don't you guys feel like we all just want to bring Dina into the drama?
Always.
She can't run further away.
Did you see Dina's Instagram story? She looks scary.
Yeah, I think she's gotten a lot
of work done, a lot of filtering of her Instagram stories, but then the new hair, she has like dark hair with bangs and it just doesn't look like her anymore.
It's a shame too, because she's really beautiful. Like when she was on the show, she was so beautiful. Why is she doing it all? Well, doing the most.
Right?
I don't know. But my guess, Brandi drank too much or whatever. Who knows? Like, I don't think Brandi needs alcohol or anything.
No, she doesn't need any more.
Literally, she said that in the past. She said that on the last Ultimate Girls trip.
Yeah.
She doesn't need a lot to get her going. So I already can picture it. There's drinks involved. Caroline, like you said, Emily, does not leave me alone. Caroline also, this is her first time back into a housewife territory in a long time. This must have been like super overwhelming for her to begin with. And then you have all these personalities, Vicky, which we love Vicky, but we have all these personalities and then Brandi at the top of it. And I can just see her just like poking the bear.
Oh, 100%.
And they're just two completely different personalities from two completely different generations where it's like Brandi's loosey-goosey. Brandi's like, let me touch you and let me have a couple drinks and let's hug and let's make out and let's do all this. You know, she's so free with her sexuality. And Caroline's a little more, you know, she's 1/16 Italian and that's not how they do it, you know? That's not how we do it at the Olive Garden.
But Caroline Manzo is actually only 61 and Brandi's 50. So I think it's also just the way they embrace their age, right? Yeah. Like Caroline acts like she's older. She's not that young.
Yeah. Well, because I would have never guessed Caroline's age when she joined Housewives is Brandi's current age. Like they're very different.
Very different.
Very different style. Very different all around.
I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
How about you?
At this point, take Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, throw it in the garbage with the sprinkle cookies.
I forgot about that.
Can we skip to the good part? Yeah, I'm over Thailand.
We still have Thailand.
Thailand was filmed like 5 years ago. I'm over it.
But isn't that kind of a marketing problem right there? Like, don't you guys kind of feel like we should have hyped up 3 before we got all the tea from 4?
Well, I feel like it was hyped and then we haven't heard anything about it because it's been so long. Like we heard about the Leah getting kicked out early and all of that stuff that like we heard the tea and then it just never went anywhere. I feel like we just need to start busting out these reality shows a lot quicker because social media has things coming out so much sooner that like we can't have this much lull time.
It's true. You're so right.
1000%.
I mean, I'm gonna watch Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, but I really want to watch Season 4 now. Now I'm like, I'm ready for Morocco. Alex McCord back in Morocco. Let's go.
I cannot wait. I feel like Alex McCord could do nothing and we would all just be like happy because she was so iconic.
So iconic. I do think though this makes Brandi and Caroline, maybe even Caroline, like they're not going to come back. Brandi, no way no way is going to come back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after this.
Which I heard is so disappointing because I heard she was on her best behavior because she knew she had her diamond on the line.
Yeah. And I can't imagine they would bring her back after this. Not after an internal investigation. They don't want to put up with that.
Yeah, because it's an HR issue. We have to investigate. We have to get statements. We have to review the footage. Like, it just becomes such a headache at that point.
And then you have Caroline, who's like, hasn't done this in forever. She gets a taste of it, and she's probably like, I do not want to do with this with Teresa. Like, no.
We interviewed Caroline at BravoCon, remember, Lauren? And I feel like I'm honestly kind of shocked she did it.
She did it in the first place.
She was so anti. She was like, it would take a lot, like basically said it would take a lot of money. So they also, we know they're paying Caroline. There's no way she went for pennies.
No.
Caroline and Alex, I think, were the two, like, I could, like, Camille, yeah, of course Camille was going to sign up for the paycheck and for the trip to Morocco. You know, the other women I wasn't surprised by, but Alex McCord, who we have not heard of in Housewives world for years. I mean, she did, like, one Watch What Happens Live, but other than that, nothing. And Caroline Manzo, I was surprised, especially because they're not the type to, like, you know, let their hair down, have a few drinks, and, like, party it up in Morocco.
They're not whoop it up with Vicky.
No.
I forgot it was Morocco. That's also probably what got Caroline. It was like free trip. Like it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like it was Bluestone Manor. Like it was Morocco, you know, and she probably got paid well. She was probably like, F it, you know.
8 days. Yeah. How bad could it really get?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll have to wait.
Now we know.
It sounds pretty bad.
Were you guys upset or happy to see Brandi, Vicky, Eva, and Phaedra returning? Because some people were like, we saw them in season 2. I don't need them back for season 4.
I don't think we needed Eva and Vicky back, even though I'm a big Vicky stan.
Yeah.
I think there's enough housewives that can go on girls trips. I would like to mix it up. Phaedra cannot give me enough. I could watch Phaedra all day.
Her one-liners are so good. Vicky did not deliver in Bluestone Manor. I know she was dealing with Steve, a heartbreak, all of it, but it was not good. Like,
no,
it was not good. So I feel like, yes, this is them giving her a second chance. They're appeasing her for not making her Real Housewives of Orange County full time. It's definitely like Bravo threw her a bone.
Yeah. Hoping that she would actually bring what they thought she would bring in season 2. And I'm hoping she brings, like, they gave you a second chance. Don't ruin it. Like, season 2 got Tamara back on OC. That, like, I'm pretty sure this is the audition that these housewives are getting to come back on a show. Phaedra, I'm glad they brought back. And I think this is the perfect dose of Phaedra, right? She gets to come. She gets to be fun. She gets to be shady. She doesn't have to open up about her life. Like, she can just kind of let her hair down and have fun with the women and give her shady confessionals, and she's great at that.
Yeah.
Who is Richard? Like, she's great at that. She brings it.
It's Richard.
She's like, why is this lady telling me about Richard in a tree?
She's so good. But back on the whole Vicky thing, I want to point this out. I also heard people talking at BravoCon that Vicky did end up filming a lot of OC because they needed her.
Yeah.
Because that's her element, though. That's the thing about Vicky. Like, I'm interested to see how she does in Morocco, because when she's out of her element, she goes in, and she's not the Vicky we know and love. You know, she in her element in the OC, in Coda, like that's her. You know, she's Vicky with the family man. But I don't know about the Morocco. We're gonna see.
But for them to like have her come in to film, that means the storylines were lacking.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. It's going to be interesting.
I will be curious to see what OC brings, because we have Heather back in the mix. I mean, this will be her second season back, and usually that's when you kind of fall back into your groove, right? Your first season back is always a little rocky. So I'm curious to see what season 2 version of Heather we get. And then we have Tamara back. We have Vicky now in the mix. We have Taylor Armstrong in the mix. So it's going to be an interesting. I have no idea what to expect. I'm hoping it's good, but I have no clue.
It's good, guys, because after, I don't know if you feel the same way. Emily and I feel this right now, but like we have not gotten really good Housewives content in a couple of months. I don't know. I'm like, Salt Lake,
Salt Lake is, oh my God. Wait, were you guys there for the Jen Shaw crashing the after party thing at BravoCon?
Oh, yes. Wait, okay. I was, and I was.
Lauren got a viral interview. It did, like, everyone was reposting Lauren.
Yes, I remember this.
But I actually left right before she crashed. So this is kind of sad. But then the next day, I heard wind of it the next morning. And then I had Tamra, and I just like randomly asked her a question of like, who are you most excited to see? Like an icebreaker of a question.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, Jen Shaw was in my room, blah, 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 blah.
Lauren fully broke the story.
Yeah, that was completely wild. Not surprised though, but also it was kind of, I don't know, for Tamra to be like turn on her so quickly, I was like, girl, I love you for that. But then also like as Jen, I would be like, are you seriously?
Well, but I kind of get it though, because it's like Jen wasn't invited to Tamra's room from what I remember hearing about it. Like she kind of just she just showed up. I mean, if Jen Shaw showed up in my hotel room, I'd be like, hey, Jen Shaw, give me the tea. And then I'd be like, okay, guys, here's the exclusive. Instagram Live, let's go.
That is okay, but also, do you guys remember when last BravoCon Tamra said Denise Richards showed up in her room? So like when Tamra first said it, do you remember that? And hit on her?
Yes.
So
I forgot about that.
I completely forgot about that too.
My initial reaction when she said that about Jen Shaw is like, Tamra's so full of shit. She just wants like a headline out of BravoCon. She's a queen of that, you know? But this turned out, we fact checked a lot, and this turned out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We had to fact check because she's claiming that she crashed, and as us being ex-Hollywood NBC, we can't just run with that without checking.
We needed our sources.
And in fact, she did crash, and people were not happy about it. Which, duh.
Yeah, which duh. I mean, I couldn't the shameless like ego to just be like, I wasn't invited to BravoCon, but I'm still gonna show up. I'm gonna come stay with my girl Heather, and I'm gonna go to the after party. Like, it's just the delusion.
That's what I don't get out of this whole thing. There is no remorse.
No,
I haven't seen it.
No, she's asking people to give their email addresses.
For money for subscriptions. What?
Wild.
Hey, Zach, I have to say, I was listening to you talk about this. I cannot believe, like, I wasn't signing up for Jen Shaw's, whatever, her real truth. Yeah. No. But I have to say, I actually didn't even think of the fact that she's just collecting, she's doing what she's going to jail for, people.
Lead
she's
generation.
Your data.
Yep.
Like, duh.
That's when people are like, the judge told her not to do this. And I'm like, she knows that. And that's why she can say, oh, now I can't tell you my truth because the judge told me not to, but you already gave me your email addresses and you already gave me consent. So now I can do whatever I want with this email list.
Do you guys think like the general public just might not understand exactly what she did? Because it is a little confusing, but when you break it down, it's not. But I don't know that people have been been told to them in a digestible way.
Well, you also see she got 6.5 years in prison. Then you have the Chrisleys who Todd almost got double that.
Yeah. And
so I feel like you have a lot, at least like from commenters that I've seen, because we've covered all of this extensively.
Yeah.
You have commenters going like, okay, the Chrisleys must have done something so much more like worse because their time was like double than Jen's. And Jen, like, and I feel like that's how a lot of fans are, like, if you're fans of both of them, that's how they're portraying it, of like, oh, well, she must have not done something that bad. 6.5
she got less
years.
time than them. Yeah. But I mean, the biggest thing that's like the biggest piece of context is like the Chrisleys went to trial and tried to fight it. Jen saw the writing on the wall and she's like, I'm going to take a plea deal. I'm going to get as little time as I can. I mean, she was asking for 3 years. I'm like, I mean, I get it. You have to lowball it and the government's going to highball it. You can fall in the middle. But still, I mean, 3 years. I'm like, what? Who are we trying to kid?
Yeah, that's a good point.
We never forget, Zach, our first ever Housewives Nightcap. We interviewed
Jen Shaw.
And both Emily and I were like, okay, so
wait, is that that's the interview that's going viral right now, right? Of her talking about like what she did and she's the Wizard of Oz. Yes.
Because it was like she's married to a college coach who's not even a D1 coach, like D1 school. where the hell is all this money coming from?
Yeah.
And so we asked her, and she basically said she was the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
She didn't know right then and there.
Curtain.
I mean, again, the delusion, knowing that the FTC has been on her back for all this time. Now I hear Coach Shaw is trying to get transferred out to Texas so that he can do, I guess he just did an interview recently where he said he wanted to do some coaching in Texas. That way he could be closer to her when she serves her time.
Which is
Something with that whole dynamic, that whole family dynamic. I'm sorry. Something's up.
Something's up. I agree.
And I feel bad for the kids because they seem like sweet kids.
I do feel bad for the kids. And I hear people say that all the time, but I'm also like, these aren't 2 and 3 year old kids. Like, these are grown men. They're now, well, they're adult. They're of age where now they can understand the consequences of like breaking the law, and like their mother broke the law, and these are the consequences of what happens. And I think at least they're at an age where they can start to understand things and understand, like, okay, the way our family made our money was not kosher, and we need to, you know, hopefully go down a better path and make sure that we, you know, take accountability, which unfortunately I don't see happening with like Jen and Coach. Like, none of them have really taken any accountability for anything other than what they've said before the judge. But I mean, to me, that's very convenient considering they were just trying to make sure they didn't get more time, or she didn't get more time.
Honestly, unless I'm missing something, I didn't even feel like she was overly to the judge. It was kind of
she
like
went
scripted.
To dinner after. Yeah.
Like very kind of like,
she had like what, 20 people?
And that's not just rolling up to the restaurant. Like, you have to have a reservation for 20 people. So this was like pre-planned. Like, she
a prefixed menu for 20 people.
Yeah, it wasn't like a last minute, like, oh, okay, guys, we did it. That's over. Let's go out to dinner. Like, let's just get a bite to eat. No, that was like scheduled. There was a reservation made. Like, this was not, you know, wild.
I've heard people say, like, where she's going to jail, you know, the prison, it's not so bad. It's low, you know, low security. Like, you get to go outside a lot. Prison is prison, guys. Like, you don't go to prison, period. Whether it's a nice prison or not. Yeah. No.
She's supposed to be bunking with Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same prison.
Yep.
That there's no way they're putting them together.
Well, no. I'm sure they won't be in the same cell.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth Holmes is just as delusional.
Yeah.
Booking herself. You guys know she booked a flight to Mexico with her husband. She thought she was going to Mexico, Elizabeth Holmes, after she was convicted. And the government was like, did you book a flight to Mexico? Because you're not going.
The country.
She's like, wait, am I not allowed?
Like, these people are just
a work trip.
Straight
delusional. Okay, let's pivot over to RHONY, because there was a new report that came out in Page 6 that after a deadlock with contract negotiations with the cast, RHONY Legacy has now been placed on pause. Thoughts? Do we even care about Legacy at this point?
Okay, I'll go because I was gonna let you go. All right, so this is how I feel about RHONY Legacy. No, I don't care. I never thought it was a good idea. I'm like I said, I'm from Jersey, but I lived in Manhattan for 10 years. I'm so excited about this new RHONY. The women that they've cast, I'm very familiar with all of them. I knew of them before they were cast, and they're cool. They're living very interesting lifestyles. I don't care about Legacy. It's like, been there, done that. Let something end that, like, sorry, I keep saying like, gave us, it gave us everything we wanted.
Yeah.
Let's put it to bed. Let's put it, and let's start something fresh. That's my opinion on this. I'm done with
That was
Legacy.
a hot take. And that was my pause. I was pausing to be like, do I say no? I agree. I mean, I love the OG women so much, but like Ebony said, we interviewed Ebony a couple days ago, and she's like, you have Hulu, go watch the old seasons.
Yeah. When it was good. Yeah.
And I was like, so true. I think after Ramona either was fired or she quit, it was just a sinking ship after that. I mean,
what does she call it? The loser legacy?
Loser legacy. She did call it that. She's not wrong. I have to say, like, nothing will ever be the same. Like, Jill Zarin, Bethany in the Hamptons house, literally just sitting in the bed. There were full episodes where I swear 30 minutes were them in a bed, and it was iconic. Like, we loved it.
The only legacy I would have enjoyed is maybe like 1 or 2 episodes, maybe even just like a 90-minute episode where it's Bethany, Jill, Ramona, Luann, Dorinda, Alex McCord, all kind of coming back. Like all the originals plus Dorinda and Sonia, because they were added after season 1, but all the season 1 originals plus Dorinda.
Lulu.
Yeah.
For you.
No, he said Lou.
Oh, he said Lou.
Yeah, Lulu. And so all of them together and reflecting on, like the way, you know how Friends did their reunion where they did it was all of them, the cast came back, they looked back, they laughed, they did whatever. And it was just kind of like one trip to the Hamptons of just them reminiscing on the good old days and flashing back to all the highlights and, you know, funny stories that they've never told anywhere else. And then boom, we put a nice little bow on it. RHONY's done. We've moved on. Sail off into the sunset.
I
feel
love
like
that idea.
Quick
you just
and
cast
easy.
Girls Trip, like the next Girls Trip legacy. That's what they call it.
And I thought that would have been
They
a
go
great.
back to Scary Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been fun. I would have
Like,
even
that
been
would've been
down with
amazing.
Kelly Ben Simone at that point. Like we could bring her in. But I just feel like this is a perfect way to tie up other Housewives shows. Like if they wanted to at some point reboot Beverly Hills or whatever, the way they're doing it with New York, they can bring back all of the legacy Housewives of Beverly Hills girls together. And it's just like one final look back on the show and what they did together to kind of just like tie it all up and then pass the baton on to the next girls or just close the city altogether.
Couldn't agree with you more. I think getting rid of legacy might be the best thing Bravo can do right now.
I think.
I also
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Lauren. I was going to say,
Well,
I think their
also-
biggest mistake was like announcing it so prematurely. Like they made such a big announcement of like, we're doing 2 shows and we're doing this. And then they didn't even, you know, they announced the cast before there was the whole Lizzie scandal that I just think there were so many premature announcements that had we just did the proper due diligence behind the scenes, cast the show, got it perfect, started filming, got good content, and then we're like, this is our cast and here's a teaser and it's going to be great. Stay tuned.
And they should have done that at BravoCon.
Yeah.
I think we're all shocked when they announced the reboot, like, you know,
Yeah.
the new cast and not the legacy. I also saw something on TikTok where it was like, sometimes these sources, which I know can be the case sometimes, but you know, you have the network planting some stuff, and then you also have Housewives planting some stuff to get the conversation going again.
Yeah.
So in this case, it could be, and this is like, you know, I'm just throwing this out there. It could be the network being like, it's not happening. And now the ladies are freaking out because
Yeah.
yes, probably most of the people that want to be on legacy need legacy.
Yeah.
And right now they're probably saying, I need this amount of money and I'm not doing it without
Yeah.
this. And maybe they will lower it to this.
Yeah. What did
But-
Bethany say? Pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. And that's always the Housewives' biggest ego check is when they ask for too much money and then they ended up getting cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that also they forget there was a time where Housewives in every, in every show and every franchise, there's a peak, right? We have peaked. I know that's sad for us all to know as
No, yeah.
fans. I know, you guys, it hurts me too. But this franchise has peaked.
Yeah.
So now we're just kind of, we're hanging, and there's still a built-in audience, obviously, but it's not what it used to be where these women were making millions of dollars an episode, literally, because
Yeah.
that's the viewership they were getting.
Yeah.
So I think these women are going in delusional a little bit. Like they're asking for that, and the network doesn't want to pay it.
They don't have the same rich storylines that they went. Like Lou. Lou is great, but her story, we saw the full arc, the full character arc, and it's come full circle, and now she's a big
Full
cabaret
circle.
star. She's Liza Minnelli. Great. Sail off into the sunset and good. But like, we don't have that character arc for her anymore. That like, what content is she really going to bring now? She has a fose. I don't care.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
also have that show.
Yeah.
Lou and Sonia have that like surreal life.
If that's
show.
even still coming out. We haven't even heard a thing about that. We haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen a teaser. Nothing.
And that wrapped filming a long time ago.
Yeah. So I think the
it
writing on
might
the
get
wall is a
canceled.
little,
I mean,
yeah.
we've seen it happen. They shoot a whole show and then they don't even air it because it's not profitable.
Good.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. The hard part then becomes, I believe the cast doesn't get their full paycheck unless a project airs. So I'm pretty sure they're going to fight that. But I mean, then they really need Legacy if their show doesn't come forward.
Yeah, I think Legacy's out. I think it's out. I think they're also realizing the new RHONY is great. I'm telling you, these girls, this group of girls is really good that they picked. They have a lot going on. Lots of drama.
Had that huge drama happen.
Yeah.
Lizzie's already out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Lizzie would have been really good TV. So I'm a little disappointed that that already flopped.
I know. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Andy, I think on Watch What Happens Live this week, said that it's good and he can't wait for people to watch it. He says he just doesn't want people to judge the original show compared to the new show because they're two completely different shows now. So we'll have to see.
It's so different. Like I guarantee you we're going to see the ladies literally on their phones at lunch and be like, oh my God, did you see this TikTok? That's what the world is now. It's totally different, you know? So it wouldn't surprise me.
I wish they would have done something more with Real Girlfriends in Paris. I feel like there was so much potential with that. And maybe that's probably the direction that they're probably going to take Housewives in, is like younger groups of friends, which is part of, this pivot with the new reboot of RHONY. But I just feel like that was actually a good show. And now we have like Summer House and Vanderpump Rules, where it is younger groups of friends that I think are really starting to come to the forefront.
Yeah, I agree with you. Are you a Summer House or are you Vanderpump or both?
Vanderpump. I'm on the West Coast. I'm from Los Angeles.
I knew you were going to say that.
Vanderpump is, I feel like East Coasters are more Summer House. West Coasters are more Vanderpump.
The Hamptons is such a niche place. Like it surprises me that Summer House has been as successful as it is. And it did take them about 5 years before anyone actually caught on. And then people started to catch on. And I do credit that actually to the casting. I mean, I think Paige really helped elevate it.
Yeah, when they fired the Workus twins and Steven and they brought in Paige and Amanda became more part of the forefront, I think it really... And Hannah Berner, too. I think Hannah really...
Hannah, Paige, Luke.
I wish Hannah was still on. She was so funny. I'm excited for this new season, but also at the same time, I see Kyle, who's 40 years old, completely drunk in the trailer. And I'm like, when do you grow up, man? Like, when does this happen?
He's going to have a baby and he's going to be drunk.
I feel like
it's going to be Scott and Courtney 2.0.
Yeah, they are. I feel like Amanda and Kyle's relationship is a little bit of a cautionary tale for all women. I really do. And I hate to say that.
He's not going to grow up.
Right? I love Amanda. Like, I think she's wonderful and she's so cool. I can never be as cool as her. She's so chill. He's just not the guy you marry.
Because he's Peter Pan. Like, he's never going to grow up.
He's never going to grow up. And he cries too much, you guys. He cries so much.
He does cry a lot, which is a good sensitive side. Like, it's nice to have a man that has a sensitive
But it's not
side.
like an in touch with his emotions. It's always like a drunk ball. Like,
yes. Exactly. I don't mind a man that cries. No problem. I like a man that cries. But come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
it's a little...
Vanderpump, Summer House, Real Houses of New Jersey. All three are coming up. Which one are you most excited for, Lauren?
Jersey.
Oh
my God. I am so excited for Jersey. Like, I think I just said this a couple minutes ago. I feel like we haven't gotten good housewife content. No. And I know this season is going to deliver. At BravoCon, the ladies were separated the entire time. Like, even when we did press, it was a group. And then like an hour later, it was the other group. They all hate each other. And I just hope that the whole drama of it all isn't at the last couple of episodes. That's my one hope. But I'm so excited for Jersey. Oh my gosh.
I mean, can you imagine this year's reunion?
It's going to be insane. Insane.
Be insane. We have March coming on next week. And I just feel like
tomorrow. Wait.
Is it tomorrow?
I think
you're probably right. You know me. I have it in my calendar, but all right. Well, we have March coming on. Wait, we should say. I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Okay, so it's coming on Wednesday, and I feel like we are just gonna ask her everything because I don't know. I want to know what is going on. How bad is it?
It's bad.
It's bad. He didn't go to the wedding.
That really actually made me sad. I feel like I'm in this family a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I really do feel that I am a whatever it is. I feel I'm a Judice at
They're
this point.
Gorgas though. They're not
Gorga.
not Judices.
Sorry. I feel like I'm a Gorga. You know, I feel like I am the.
No, you're Juicy Joe's daughter, so you are Judice. We love Juicy Joe.
Gorga. I don't know.
We also have to be completely honest. We are completely biased because we love Teresa with all of our heart.
We do love Teresa. We love Teresa. I've seen Melissa out at like, you know, events in the city or whatever, and she's lovely. Nothing against Melissa, but I've also seen Teresa and I just love Teresa. Like, I like to talk to her casually. She's just kind of one of those people that I really, really enjoy in a casual setting.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I feel more open.
I was about to say she's really down to earth. Of all the housewives like I've met, Teresa, Kathy Hilton are the most down to earth, like super, super nice, cares about you, cares about like what's going on, and not just like knowing that, oh, this is part of my job. I have to do an interview and get over with it.
Who was your least favorite interaction with?
Oh, I always say mine. Lauren, you go first though.
Well, I think it's the same. Actually, no, I already know who yours is.
Mine is Ramona. I love watching Ramona on my TV and stuff. But when we had her on the first time, I was so over it. Like within 5 minutes, I was like, I'm over this. Like, I'm not enjoying this interview. Why is she attacking us? And she was just like a shark, and just, you know, it was like the camera was like here, and it was like, oh, where are you? Where are you girls? What's going on? Oh. And it was just like chaos. And we were like, hey, Ramona. And she was just like somehow rude within like a second.
Did you see her the Zoom that she did with Avery and like
her daughter?
Yes. That was her. That exactly. If you go back and watch that Zoom with Avery recently, that is how she was to us.
That was hilarious, because she's like, can you stop talking? You're being rude. And then Avery's like, Mom. And she's like, what? She's being rude. She's being rude. And I'm like,
yeah.
Everyone was just like cringing in that video.
And like doing the like, you know.
What?
And we were like, Avery? She's my least favorite interaction, I will say. What about you, Lauren?
I'm trying to think.
What's yours, Zach? Do you ever have the Housewives on here?
Yeah, I do. My least favorite interaction. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm blanking right now. I mean, well, no, I don't know. They've all been so good.
Yours, Lauren.
I feel like I get them to open up, and I usually get them to, even when they're icy, I still get them to let their guard down. I would love to interview Ramona. I would love to tackle that beast.
Oh, I'm sure she'd be happy to come on.
Oh, she's
promoting a podcast that I think is unnamed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing a podcast with Avery.
Yeah.
Wait, Lauren, your least interaction, I'm literally afraid to say it because she's so scary.
Wait, who is it?
At BravoCon.
Oh, yeah.
You're so scared.
Yeah.
Who?
Erica
Jane?
But I was scared too, but I was a little less scared.
No, I was scared because I also had a scary interaction with her, like one of my first interviews ever at Access Hollywood, and I was 23 or 24. Baby.
Yeah.
And I was interviewing her, and she was no, like literally stopped me. Here's the thing. I also was a little naive, and I asked her a little too much questions.
What did you ask her?
Housewife, you're gonna feel. I basically was like, I played a game, and this was several years ago. I played a game, and I said, who in your cast is most likely to? And I named off like the most iconic moments in Housewife history. So like most likely to in your cast to flip a table, most likely to in your cast to like drink a little too much and fall into a bush, like Luann. I think once I got to that point, she's like, no, and we're done. And I was like,
oh my God.
Sounds like her. Erica doesn't fuck around.
So at BravoCon, so we've never interviewed her for Housewives.
She's never come on our show. She declines the offer every time, which for some reason we're always surprised. But
we had BravoCon, and she's just also really intimidating because she's beautiful.
She's like 10 feet tall.
Tall,
she's really tall.
We thought we were well dressed. I mean, no, she was completely just decked
we
out.
looked like our outfits were from Target. Like we looked like a Target special.
And we knew we only had so much time with her, so we just asked the questions the people needed to know, and she did not like that. And so it was a short interview.
What did you ask her?
We just asked like the Kathy Hilton of it all, and like, you know, she stood by Lisa Rinna. Why? Blah blah blah. But I will say, right after Erica was Lisa, and man, was she a good sport about the whole thing.
Yeah, about getting booed.
Like she's like, I loved it. Like, you know, which, you know, I don't believe either, but I know now, like, here's the thing. Lisa brings the drama. She knows how to stir the pot.
Yeah.
Who knows what this new season's going to be without Lisa?
Yeah. I mean, and now it doesn't look like we're getting Brandi. So I'm very curious as to what's going to happen with Beverly Hills moving forward.
I think they're going to cast the three sisters.
Kim,
Kyle.
No.
Yeah, I do. Kim, Kyle, and Kathy. And I think that's the obvious next step, in my opinion.
Take it back to the family roots. Yeah.
Take it back to listen, family dynamics works on reality TV. We know this. It is very successful. Does it tear apart families? Yes.
I just feel like the Hilton Richard sisters are way scrappier than the Gorga drama. I feel like Kim is ruthless and toothless. Like Kim will come for you.
Ruthless and toothless and homeless. Yeah. Not Kim, but that reminded me of Toothless and Homeless. Is that the name of it?
Homeless, not toothless.
Homeless and toothless.
I went to him for a consultation. Not the homeless, not toothless. The dentist that has the charity, Dorit's dentist. I did go to him for like a veneers consult. And then it was supposed to be a free consultation, and I left out. I like ended up spending like $400 on like literally nothing, on like a cleaning and like a quick like a dental exam. But I was like, how did I just get like, now I am homeless and toothless.
Now you are homeless and toothless. Oh my God, that is funny. I get it though. If I were in LA, I'd probably go too, just to see.
Well, I'll tell you right now, save your $400 and you're good.
Oh my God. And then do you guys remember? Oh, wait, that was a separate event. Or no, was it? Melissa Etheridge then comes on stage?
Yeah. That was a homeless man too.
Event.
That.
And it was like, what's happening? Does Melissa Etheridge know that like it's homeless and toothless too? I didn't know.
I don't think she had any clue. I think she was told it was a charity event and it's a housewife and it's filmed. Like, this is good PR, just do it. And she was like, all right, she didn't know what the charity was. How many people are like, yeah, let me go help the homeless, not toothless? Like, it's the name of it is so, the charity is great, but the name of it is just
charity is great. I'm so supportive of helping homeless people get new smiles, but the name.
And they also want them to get a bed.
Yeah, like that's also a priority.
True.
Okay, I do need your thoughts on Bethany Frankel's new show, Money Court, getting canceled, because you guys interviewed Bethany on Housewives Nightcap right after the launch of her RHOWives podcast, which was groundbreaking, revolutionary. Never heard of a concept like that before. She was clapping back at Luann and Carol, saying that, you know, she's sorry for having great ideas and she's sorry for being successful. And now we see RHOWives is like tanking on the charts week after week. And Money Court has just been canceled by CNBC. Thoughts?
We started this podcast by saying, in order to have a good career, you need to be fancy and scrappy. I could not better describe Bethany Frankel. Okay. She's scrappy. And I will say, like, I give it to her because TV is a really hard area to make it in, especially now. Even if you go to a streamer, it's really, really hard. And we've had, I looked back because I wanted to know exactly what we had with Bethany. The talk show failed. Mm-hmm. The Big Shot, which I actually liked the Big Shot.
I liked the Big Shot, yeah.
I think that could have gotten another season. Failed. Bethany and Frederick.
Failed.
This is yet another Bethany Frankel.
I feel like there have to be a few more that failed, right? I feel like she's had like 25 shows and none of them go anywhere.
None of them go anywhere.
None of them make it past the
she
first
goes on
season.
Shark Tank, which is very
Shark
successful.
Tank.
She's
obviously.
so good at Shark. Like, I wish they would just cast her full time on Shark
As a
Tank.
shark, she is really
As a
good.
shark. Here's the thing with our interview with Bethany. It was very
Very
to the point.
This is a podcast. You have to tell them what you mean by this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I'm clapping, guys.
She's making hand actions right now.
I'm making hand actions, everyone. She is very to the point. I asked a question, she answered it. It was very matter of fact.
Yeah.
She thinks she is hot shit. And you know what? Fake it till you make it, because it worked for her and it will work for her because she bounces back. The show, I mean, I watched a couple episodes because I ended up interviewing her for it too. Like, she needed a plug. It great concept. And here's the thing. Bethany is an entrepreneur, 1,010%.
Yeah.
But like Emily said, TV is it's a slippery slope with TV, with streaming, with all of it. It has to be really good. And it just wasn't good enough. I don't know about Bethany and her TikToks. Maybe she'll make something about that. Maybe she'll go on QVC full time.
I think the TikToks do have a greater plan in her mind, because now that they've taken off, Bethany's not stupid. It's become a thing for her. So now how can she further monetize it? I don't think it's going to stay on TikTok. I think she's going to do something. Maybe another cosmetics line outside of Skinny Girl.
Yeah,
Basically,
I think
she was the first housewife to ever monetize anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the first to monetize Skinny Girl, the margarita. Now she's the first housewife to really monetize social media in the way that she has. She's not selling flat. Well, she did sell flat tummy tea, but she's like doing the TikToks and the Instagram reels, and she's making bank off of that. So, I mean, but I think her strength has always been her personality, which is reality TV. And I think Bethany Ever After was great. You know, when she's on RHONY.
Not about Bethany Ever After. That was great. And Jason had us all fooled.
Yeah.
I was fooled. I was fully fooled. He had the Midwestern parents come in, and I thought they were so nice. I thought he was so nice. What a psycho.
Mm-hmm. I think that's Bethany's strength. And if they ever want to reboot the RHONY Legacy, I think Bethany needs to sign on. And I think if she signed on at this point, I think she knows she needs some TV time because she loves TV so much, and they probably need her, that the only way Legacy can move forward is going to be with Bethany and probably Ramona. I feel like the two of them with the OG cast, I think, is really compelling for people.
I don't think Bravo will ever pay Bethany what she needs to come back. I would be shocked.
She doesn't need that anymore, though.
She doesn't need the money. Right. She doesn't need the money. But one thing she loves is the relevance and the TV time. She's addicted to the TV time. That's why she keeps signing these deals for all these little one-off shows that don't go anywhere. So I think at some point she's going to realize how much she misses being on TV. And I think at that point she'll buckle for a good price, but not the price that she's, ultimately really wanting. Because at that point she doesn't need the money, that she doesn't care about the money.
I don't know if she was just kind of like giving me a tease to give me a tease, but she did go, what if like I have something in the works with Bravo right now that would be about my life, me and Brynn, like what would you be interested in that? I don't know if she was just totally like,
that would be interesting. I would be interested in that.
But I would be interested in that 1,000%.
I would be too. I would be too. I went to her apartment once, the old one though, where it was like white. It was really pretty. She used to post it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I walked in and I had never met her before. This was years ago. And I sat down with my crew because we were going to interview her about Be Strong, because she was doing like great work in Puerto Rico at the time. And she did not talk to me for like a good 30 minutes. And then finally she sits down and she looks up and she's like, "You look pretty." And for some reason that made me laugh so hard, because she doesn't know me. Yeah. So it's like a weird thing to say to someone you've never met, like, "You look pretty." It's more like you're so pretty. Like, thank you for, you know what I mean? It was just it was so
intimidating. Like, she was intimidated.
Like, you look pretty. I was like, thank you.
Thank you. And did she respond? So you agree? You think you're really pretty?
You agree? You think you're really pretty? No, but that would have been so her to respond that way, right? Like that's kind of how she said it. But I love Bethany. I'm a big Bethany stan, and I think what she built is incredible, all by herself.
Yeah.
No man's helped her.
And she's good now. Like, she doesn't need to do anything anymore. Like, she's good financially. She's got Paul. She's got Bryn. I think she's, she's doing it. She's got her TikToks. She's got all the CVS makeup she could ever want.
And she's an investor at this point. Bethany invests. She knows a good brand to invest in. And I think that's kind of how she makes her money. Also, isn't she into real estate? I'm sure she makes money doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Estate.
Yeah.
Making the majority of her money.
Yeah. And we're aspiring to get that Bethany Franco paycheck. It's coming.
Oh my God. I want to work for Bethany. I feel like that could really whip you into. No, it would be
I would
awful.
never want to work for Bethany. I was in the casting for
Stop.
The Big Shot. Yeah.
Stop.
But then I don't think that they liked that I had a podcast that covered like Housewives and stuff. And they're like, we don't think that's going to work because it's going to look like you're a super fan. And I was like, well, I'm good. I don't really want to work for
Bethany
her.
hates
I was like,
Superman.
I was like, I don't want to really work for her anyway. I would just do it for the exposure on the TV show and for the story of working for Bethany.
I could see you on reality TV. Have you auditioned for other shows?
Yes, I've filmed a few reality shows. Most of them didn't go anywhere. So
I love that.
We'll see what happens.
No, yeah, I can totally see you on a reality show. Wait, what are your thoughts on the new MTV show?
Okay, so I haven't talked about this at all. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I haven't talked about it. So because there's a lot of like heat on it right now, right? Real Friends of WeHo.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know what you guys were talking about. Yes. Okay, sorry, go.
So yeah, sorry. I mean, a lot of like backlash from the show that I think is almost a little unwarranted, to be honest. I mean, I understand why the cast is upset because my understanding is they filmed a show that was it's supposed to be like the A-list LA, and it was supposed to be on Paramount Plus, and then they were shocked that it was on MTV, and then it was called Real Friends of WeHo. Now, for me, I didn't love the initial announcement because I looked at that group of guys and I was like, nothing about this screams that they're real friends. Like, these are all Hollywood people, Hollywood friends that I don't believe that they actually like have drinks on a Friday night and hang out often. And I didn't immediately love the WeHo association because to me, it just felt so stereotypical. I haven't seen the show yet, but I hear once people actually watch it, they're actually kind of enjoying it and that there's a lot of like endearing qualities to it. I think it's a good start because it's showing gay men in a positive light. I've always wanted to do a show or to have a show that like shows us as not just like partiers and we all just sleep with each other and pop pills in WeHo clubs all the time, and it focuses on like, being career men and having families and getting, having solid, stable relationships. And so hopefully this show can kind of open up that door and we can get more shows like that. I think it's a good stepping stone. It's like, yeah, Real Houses of OC started the Real Housewives franchise, but it didn't really peak until we got to Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, the table flip.
Right.
So I think it's a step in the right direction. But I haven't watched it yet, and I don't know if I actually will.
Well, there's only 2 episodes out, so I feel like we could all catch on to it. I love Brad Goreski.
Love Brad.
So funny. Do we know if his husband's on it at all?
He is Gary.
Oh, he is? Oh, see, that will get me to watch. I love Gary. He's funny as hell. I will watch for Gary. But I agree with you, Zach. We need more gay male representation on reality TV. Kind of feels like they're always like a female sidekick or friend, you know? And this way, I like seeing professional gay men who are basically, these guys aren't my friends, but all my friends are professional gay men. Yeah. So I love seeing them.
And we don't see enough of that on TV, I don't think.
We don't. And there is such a market and consumer that wants to see what is going on in this kind of demographic, So I feel like it has legs, and also bad press is good press. The fact that people are talking about it.
It got a lot of press, and I think that made it a lot more culturally relevant, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, no reality show cast is everyone real friends. I'm sorry.
No, that's true.
I know that's what the audience wants, but that's just not how casting in Hollywood works.
But I also think, like, look at RHONY and look what made RHONY so magical is there was chemistry and there was connection, right? They maybe weren't best friends, but there was that lightning in a bottle that they had because they had that chemistry. Some of them had some history and they just knew how to connect with each other. And I think maybe it's a disservice that the cast did because I know some of them have come out and spoken poorly about the show. I know like Dorian is not a big fan of the show and he's like, I don't even live in WeHo, I live in the Valley, blah, 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 blah. But I think you can immediately tell that there's just such a disconnect from all of these men that the only fabric that they have is the Hollywood connection. And I wish they would have leaned more into the Hollywood connection rather than their BFFs that party in WeHo every weekend.
Right. Also, I think if you follow anything that Brad Goreski does, he doesn't party. He's like, so.
No, and that's why I was so shocked to see Brad. I love Brad. I think Brad's hilarious. I think he's fun. I think he has a really big career. Oh, because he even had his own show for a minute. It's a Brad world.
Had his own show, yeah.
Yep. Never forget him with Rachel Zoe.
Oh, yes.
See that kind of TV? Like I really, it was so good. Him and Rachel Zoe.
I don't know if you guys were a fan of this, but $1 Million Matchmaker was my jam.
Patty Stanger?
Yes.
Bring her back. We need her back. She needs to stop being so stubborn about paychecks and realize we want her back on TV. Like, put some respect on her check, but like, put her back on TV.
Everyone needs to start looking at, granted, I've never been a reality TV show cast member, so I know it's a lot of work. I know this, but they all have to start looking at the reality TV portion as they're launching for other opportunities. It's a platform. It's not the thing that's going to pay your mortgage. What's going to pay your mortgage is what the platform, brings to you, which is on social media now these days, it's so different than it was. You can do so much with the platform.
You really can. Given that platform, you're really going to go all the way.
Start a brand. Do something.
I agree. Take the TV time and make the most of it, and
TV time.
Build the Bethany brand. I agree with you.
Build the Bethany brand. Bethany.
Yes.
Bethany.
Lauren, Emily, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. Coming on No Filter with Zack Peter. Where can people keep up with you guys?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. And second of all, we're going to have you on Nightcap now.
I would love that.
We will figure this out because we need you to come spill the tea with us. But watch Housewives Nightcap on YouTube, on Access Hollywood's digital platforms. We post once a week. This week we'll have Marge from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Then we got Candy coming up. Then we have Teresa.
Ooh.
We have a lot of
good people coming up. So watch Access Hollywood, YouTube, and then plug our socials, Emily.
Oh yeah, follow me at Emily Orozco TV and Lauren at Lauren Herbert.
Yeah, I'm just at Lauren Herbert.
Yeah, at Lauren Herbert.
Get the TikTok game going, guys. So follow us on TikTok too.
Yeah, yes. Wait, follow Lauren on TikTok. She's like really getting famous on TikTok.
I literally have like 3,000 followers. So with TikTok, that is not good.
Oh yeah, I love it.
But that's where our best clips go, and that's where you can really get the tea. If you're not hitting YouTube,
So go give them a follow. Go get that tea. Housewives Nightcap.
We're the biggest fans of you, so this is so fun.
Thank you guys. I love it. I love it. I love you guys. Guys, go give them a follow and listen to Housewives Nightcap. All right, love you, mean it. Bye.